I don't feel like there's a weak
Halo
side of
teman-teman
DRX.
semua yang belum
All
mati satu
outbound,
harian
but
seperti aku. Selamat siang guys. Selamat pagi, selamat siang. Aku aja baru bangun guys. Sekarang kita langsung kayak Nobar Valorant DRX versus EG. Pas banget bangun-bangun langsung mulai cuy.
So I think that helps them, and it also leaves open their fracture, which they will pick. And DRX didn't look great on yesterday.
Didn't look fantastic. No,
Halo guys, gue sambil guys kita ini yuk, kita ngobrol di Discord kalian guys. Maksudnya kayak chat-chatan. Halo Yocu.
That one historically I feel like.
Halo Elton, halo Aru Diateru. Halo Bang, halo Calvin.
Yeah, it's always been a good map for DRX. They're so consistent there, even in their loss to Paperrex. That was still one of the maps that they ended up taking over.
Bolos lagi, Cok. Siapa yang belum mandi satu harian kayak aku, guys? Maka kamu mencoba biar di sini konten bukan, Cok. Gue dukung anak buah. Gue dukung adiknya Paperrex, Cok, DRX, Cok.
Slipping out of the map pool now. Poe isn't the one you go to look at DRX doing Harbor well.
But to start this series off on Fracture, this is a little bit concerning for me for DRX. Because like we said, they looked weak last time.
2 juta, halo Tan, halo Zaki. Bang absen bang, halo Eldon.
Yeah, as you guys also can see on the Prime Gaming Agents Select, we've seen DRX play already. Mike, of course, they're not going to really change anything up. But what do you think about this matchup?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I don't think DRX are going to stray massively from this. Again, other events, I think we've seen DRX maybe take things a little bit slower, maybe sandbagging a little bit.
Halo Kiki, PRX kapan Bang PRX playoff? Mas Midas ya, sabar ya. Playoff sekitar tanggal 15 atau 16 atau 17 gitu kalau nggak salah. Lu punya Mars Paperrex DRX nggak bang? Belum punya guys, belum dikirimin. Soalnya gue tuh di Jakarta jauh guys. Gue jauh, gue lumayan jauh guys.
He has so many different lineups to allow Jojimo to contact up and take space off his utility. And when they get that Sovault online, they have a lot of preset plays as well that are really hard to contend with. Most teams, you're not going to be used to shooting a Sova Dart on this map.
No, it's not. It's one of those little quirky picks that just, forces the early round protocols.
Pertanyaan keberapa tuh bang yang main Paperrex? Paperrex sih bang, Bustio kemarin menggokil bang. Ini IG lagi serem cok. Ada Demon One, Bustio, wah ngeri coy. Ini DRX bisa menang nggak ya? Masa DRX belum masuk? Masa DRX nggak masuk playoff sih? Nggak mungkin dong. Kalau IG tau gue lumayan ngeri deh.
Yeah, and let's not forget Mako saving their asses.
Bang nggak ketok ya bang? Enggak.
I mean, it was a 13-10 Mimi as you remember. It could
Nang ini bang, DRX bang belum tahu guys. Let's see guys. Kalau DRX-nya panas banget bisa guys. Kenapa Zeus ngapain? Berarti sekarang formasinya adalah formasi baru bro. Bang top upin Guardian Tales gue aja baru mulai. Coba suruh top upin. Ntar gue main Guardian Tales kali ya, agak malaman tapi ya. Gue mau buat video dulu apa? Video monitor dulu.
Yeah, I mean at the same time too, Fracture not been the best map for DRX at all, but Mike, we can't ignore the experience diff. These DRX boys, they're known as the group stage demons for a reason.
Absolutely, and again, not to harp on to Foxy9, but I think he becomes
something mungkin nggak main, Cok.
In this composition on this map, we know how pivotal that role is. Again, I think it's an interesting discussion about the post-plant strength as well. That's something that's really going to test, or I guess visibly test the preparation.
Something masih proses, tapi dia di Jepang tau gue cuy, aman cuy, justru gue udah aman deh. Orang ada fotonya kok si Something lagi di Jepang.
But how much they can adapt within these compositions? What is the secondary game plan? When the post plants fail, what do you go to next?
Well, I cannot wait to see what we're gonna get here. It's time to jump into Fractures. We've got Brandon Sideshow on the mic. Over to you guys.
Apa halo Tir 25 apa?
Thank you very much. Lovely setup for this match right here. Whoa, fast zoom in, but we're getting into it now. This match deciding the top 8 heading into deeper and deeper with Masters Tokyo as well. And Evil Genius is a team that, listen, when we were talking about the Americas playoffs, they weren't even expecting to make it there. It was out of their hands, but they are definitely a team that have forged their way. They earned their spot to Tokyo now and are up against the group stage demons that is DRX.
And you hear the desk talking as if EG are
now favorites to make
DRX
atau EG bang. DRX lah coy, harapan Asia coy. Adanya Paperrex sekarang hitungannya, bukan kakaknya lagi ya sih. Anjing keren banget coy, nih.
And what a battle this is gonna be. Porter versus
anime beta coy.
With that when we get some timeouts later on. But here we go into a pistol round. And already take a look at the minimap, because it looks to me like EG are gonna north side crunch. And there are 3 DRX players waiting to receive this. To me, Brent, this looks like there's gonna be a lot of pressure on Boostio and Demon One.
Absolutely. If EG have done their homework, they're going to know as well. DRX were trending towards this B split. Over and over
Guys,
again.
apakah EG bisa memberikan dominasi yang seram kepada DRX atau DRX memberikan kekuatan yang luar biasa dari MM yang gila dan strats yang luar biasa juga guys. Gue nggak tahu guys ya. Dari map picknya sih dia tahu nih EG tahu guys DRX tuh kurang di fracture ya.
The important post-plant spots though, when Mako is going to be playing with his Molly lineup.
Let's see this refight here that's happening over towards Arcade again. The back of the box should be cleared out. No, the boom bomb was flashed up, still at the back side of it. There's the damage being
Foxy mati, Cok.
Right through the box. Aftershock as well now in the tower. Really starting to feel that heat. Stacks had to hold his ground, and he does not win it out.
No, 4 lawan 2, Cok.
Relatively early, but still the time is ticking. That's going to put the pressure once more onto them. So many of these shots running it down into the Molly. Didn't want to risk too much there. Listen,
I mean, there was no reason particularly to give your life to that, but I can appreciate getting caught up in the
di Valorant Jepang bang, YouTube-nya biar terasa Jepangnya. Nggak gitu juga, Cok, nggak ngerti anjing.
Online there with the last couple of kills. See how precise his aim is. Not a player that actually was that important in their win over Foot. As strange as that sounds, because the hype surrounding him playing at this tournament, after we all thought he might miss it, was enormous.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, we were talking to death about it. Over and over again, for good reason, the guy pops off, but it wasn't even necessary for them to get that 2-0 win.
That's scary.
That's a
scary situation.
Kayaknya dari kemarin tajam bang, Emi bang, ngeri makanya Joni Cok. Ini di RS kalau misalnya nggak nyala semuanya bahaya guys, harus nyala semuanya 5-5-nya baru bisa menang nih menurut gua.
So actually we've got an awesome map pool for this match, where you get to see I think both of these teams at the absolute peak of what they can accomplish. Both teams like playing Fracture. You know, we've been cognizant of DRX with their roster swapping up, not being as great on this map sometimes.
Over the ropes, you're not getting away from that one,
Bas. Basnya selalu ketangkap begitu, Cok. Untuk kenapa, Cok, gua, Cok? Gila, Egi ngeri banget, Cok. M-nya, Cok, pala terus, coy. Ini ngeri sih, guys, Egi, guys. Ini ngeri sih, menurut gue ini ngeri, Cok.
You know, Demon One's first time at an event of this caliber, and to be honest, a lot of EG's first time at an event of this caliber. And I think for DRX, it's one of those series that changes the narrative. It's a pivot point. Where if they win this game, people are going to assume that it's back to DRX.
Apakah saatnya masa DRX pulang sih? Enggak. Masih ada lower bracket kalau kalah, tapi kayaknya sih enggak lah. Bisa guys.
I think people start to, you know, really take seriously the warning signs that we've seen from DRX of whether or not they might be entering a slump period.
Rumors swirling around this DRX team about their form heading into the event as well. You can just see it as well, just in terms of the rosters.
Kayak gini Dark Horse sih menurut gue guys. Gak juara satu tapi dia ngeri banget mainnya cuy. Menurut gue sih ngeri sih EG sih coy. Dari M-nya kelihatan guys.
4 players are walking towards him. Turret takes contact, fault line. Off of it and now running all the way through. Dart, have to be ready for this one, Buzz. Close to the ropes, it's a wider swing with an A-Porson and back. Showstopper, over and away.
Stacks mati, lah, nggak bahaya tah.
Buzz wants nothing to do with it, but Mako is being squeezed. How can he survive? Can he maintain? He can!
So good. He's brought it back just a little.
And he's aware as well.
What the fuck?
Potentially hearing the sound cue. He's caught Buzz out and he's forced it into a 1 versus 1 nade online. Lands the shot anyway.
Gue bilang apa, Cok?
For the heroics of Mako, what he was doing on the south side of that map.
One good play deserves another.
Gue bilang apa, Cok?
Coming out and responding. That's a fantastic clutch there. A 1v3 where he was incredibly aware of Buzz coming through tunnel. That to me is the most impressive kill out of all of them.
I'm assuming he heard the specific sound cue there. I mean, when players are running through tunnel, it does make a little squelching sound. You know, you can spot it out, you can hear it.
Normally those kind of sound cues do get lost.
They get lost, right? But no, so aware.
That is extreme.
Apa sih?
To buy into this round. They have Mako's orbital strike online because he got 4 kills. They're going for the B exec again. I mean, it's the same.
Sekala guys, nggak mungkin dong.
In 3 out of 4 rounds now.
were doing this a lot as well against ASC the other day.
And when they used to do this exec, they would run a neon with it. So they would start the exec from about where Foxy9 is, right here.
Wah, internet gue guys lagi. Wah, duka tuh. Cok, ini Demon One ngeri banget, Cok. Ini kayak something, Cok. Yang headshot terus, anjir.
In his face, no Prowler. Won't be getting info off of that one inside the smoke is Boostio. Waiting for the right time to strike, but there's a Nanaswarm at his feet. Has to back away. A bit of random spam. Maybe you can get quite lucky with it, but he's going to be backing away. They don't want to give away any lives. Oh my, I mean, the Nanaswarm.
Kenapa lari begitu dah?
Snacks getting caught out there, brought down to his knees. It's a 3 versus 5. Mako pushing forwards. He's trying to equalize. Take away the advantage that might be theirs. Still holding on to canteen control, the regression from Com.
What a wide swing.
Really wide swing, and they don't have B main position either. Buzz and RB anchoring towards the side. They have to really just come up with something massive.
Ya Allah, kalah lagi, cuy.
It was there for RB. He grabbed his 2.
Kenapa nih, cuy, DRX, cuy?
Once more there to shut it down. And Jorgamo's got his second showstopper of the map so far. We're only in round 5.
Kenapa, cuy, ya?
I mean, it's the end of round 4. By the time
Yo,
he gets
bokok-bokok DRX, cuy, anjir.
Look at this setup, by the way. Just want to point this out. The turret holds contact, and it
Ini
is
nggak bagus
so
sih, guys. Ini
common
bener
for
nggak bagus sih, guys.
to use a flash there and go, and your first player in is pre-aiming the turret.
Ini nggak bagus banget, cuy.
And the way that EG
Kacau sih, guys.
play
Kacau
that
sih,
spot
guys.
is having Demon 1 as the turret behind the turret, the one who actually gets the kills. So as Foxy9 peaks, his pre-aim is towards where common turret positions.
Gue sambil makan, guys, ya.
Expecting a player to
Makan
be
gudeg nih.
challenging.
Ini apa gue lagi mau
And
diet,
Demon
Cok.
1, Boostio both set up to try and actually take that fight. I think already,
Orang suka gudeg sebenarnya sih.
one of the reasons why I'm so
Itu
impressed
manis
with
banget,
EG,
cuy.
as we see DRX take a timeout, is the prep work that they do. Because
Soalnya hari ini
even if
makan
it's
sekali
not
aja, guys.
specific
Besok baru diet
anti-strategy,
parah.
they are so prepared. The level of structure that they have in this team and the thought that they put into every small fight is there.
Apik
I
aja
would
yang
be
iya sih.
very surprised if EG don't continue.
Cuman
to put
kelihatan banget
a lot of
KLM,
free
guys.
pressure, because it denies where Mako wants to play the post plants from. It's really good against the B split exec that DRX do, and it's very good at denying that.
Kelihatan, Cok, kalau M-nya kalau KLM tuh kelihatan banget,
I
guys.
just think EG have come out with a really nice game plan that Termi's going to have to adjust to.
That's what his timeout is for. Maybe even to settle the mindset a little bit here for DRX, because honestly, it's been a very similar approach almost every single round for DRX so far. Leading into that B split, they haven't really explored towards A too much. They're going for this 1-4 split again. Buzz on the north side is going to be having to play safe here. It looks like there's not going to be too much attempt of an
Bikin
aggression.
Pacific yang lot. Paperrex, DRX sama T1.
Flashing off the rip over the top, it looks like as well. Just a bit of utility use at the beginning of the deep smoke. Horn's broken. They set their sights over towards arcade.
Mereka harus lebih tenang sih, guys. Gue berharap DRX lebih tenang ya mainnya ya. Mainnya terlalu gasah-gusuk tadi, Cok. Postplay-nya kurang dapat kemana. Biasanya postplay-nya parah kan, ya kan. Jadi kelihatannya tuh kayak kurang gitu loh. Postplay-nya kayak berantakan, coy. Ngampiknya kena bokong, overpick.
Here we go, Nightfall. Scattered over towards the side. Ethan, Nada, his back. Prowler as well in his face. Didn't stand a chance. There's a showstopper. Unleashed this way, that way. Satchel's going all over the bloody place. Cannot find a target. No sound cues. He's caught with the ult. Finally fades. Pre-fires it. Does not find a target. And doesn't even expect him to be on the site. It's Jorgamo, who's unaware. Inside the smokes, though. So a 3v4. A bit of spam
Aduh,
again with the
kenapa bisa kena
Phantom.
spray ya?
Landing those shots. Lineups now being played from Buzz.
And here's the issue. Mako with Molly, with Orbital Strike. Look at how few DRX players have guns out ready to take fights. They're all playing the post plant lineups.
The Orbital Strike has to be used for this lockdown. It has to be cleared out there. But again, the post plants. Again, these deep lineups. Foxy9. What a shot to hit.
Foxy9
instantly returns the fire. They know where Mako is. That's absolutely disgusting. The fuse starting to get stuck. That Nanaswarm's going to take some time to hit. That's half of the fuse already. It's more than time. It's a critical one. Can Buzz still do it?
Ini orang gila banget, Cok. Mainnya, Cok, di Demon 1, anjir.
They've got it.
In the face of Demon 1, this guy. He stands up to any sort of test that you're going to be throwing at him.
And EG here are perfectly showcasing how to abuse the way that DRX play these post-plant situations. One of the issues that people were talking about when Zest was in the lineup was them playing very formulaically. I don't think it actually matters which lineup they use. DRX are always going to try and drop back into these extremely static, passive post-plant lineup situations on Fracture.
Gila coy nih orang ya. Ngeri guys ya. Mereka nggak perlu banyak strategi guys, tinggal nembak aja. Oh, M udah gila gitu mah. Kalah cok, M sama DRX kalah loh M lo.
The play here, the tempo's increased. Dart over the top. Foxy9's lit up. He's scared. He's worried. He's going to get spammed as a nade at his feet. Slaughter right now, and a flood attempt as well. The call is made by EG. They want to take it straight to him. Yet Mako returns with a fire. The Sheriff doing so much work.
As does the Shock. But this is a 2v4 where Buzz and RB have been able to pick up weaponry.
Immediately retreat back to halls as well. Still maintaining that drop control. Buzz doesn't actually have any nanoswarms to play the lineups from that position.
Oh, he's so far away, isn't he?
Clearing out the side here, Com, making sure that everything's watched for. There's going to be that rotation here. Showstopper straight across. Com didn't really stand a chance there. There's a molly as well that was sent in flying ahead of time. It's going to remove any sort of potential for a clutch.
What nice Rifty.
Yeah, Boostio was fantastic, don't get me wrong, in a prize series, but that's an impossible task even for him.
Rifty menang kali banget dah.
Yeah, so DRX, they take their Thrifty, they go for their normal A exec where it goes through sand, and we see a couple of different ideas from EG on how they want to defend this. EG blast pack
Mako emang ngeri Mako nih anjing.
And he ends up missing, getting taken out by some fantastic Sheriff shots from DRX.
Kalau nggak ada si Mako tadi kalah itu.
Have to adjust how they run the A split, but that would give me a lot of confidence as DRX to just start running the A exec over and over.
Look towards it. So Stimmy with the drone.
Southside crunch on the Thrifty.
And the stun connects. That fault line is huge. Here's the rolling thunder. Right through them into the face. Jorgamo, he's not messing around. He wants the action, he wants the smoke. They still know where the last player is. Ethan aftershot towards the side.
Ya Allah, ngapain dah?
He supplements. That tight squeeze, everybody has fallen. And Buzz, the only reason he's still alive,
gaming cok masih
well away from the action on the north side of the map. Let's see if he can do it again. The triple face will deny any chance.
Thrifty, dibalas Thrifty.
That's back to back from either team.
Incredible stuff. Love the idea from EG. You know, some fans were asking me, you know, how does 100 Thieves make it to Tokyo? Well, one of their strats has made it there. The Southside Crunch coming out. Lovely stuff to see. We've seen a couple of teams in the Americas pull this one. It seems very unconventional, but with the combination of all of your utility, it can be extremely oppressive to play against. And I think this match in general on Fracture is a clash between two styles. Two really big, very different styles. The Des talked about it a little bit with Com's Sova. Also the fade on the other side, the amount of north and south side crunches that are going to happen.
Look at that, you're already seeing some form of adjustments. They know that DRX have been going into these B splits. They have given up a bit of tree control. That's why Fox is on that line. Lockdown's going to be used. Anything to try and break this one. That's an aftershock. Shock darts?
They missed the shocks.
Yeah. Is the goal there? I'm not too sure what the goal of that one is. Not sure how they would even land, but it means that 3 players are detained. They thought that was going to be cleared out here. Straight into tower. Easy pickings. Skipping a hop, you will not escape. Easiest kills of RB's life.
I'd love to see that from Com's POV, because I don't know where he was even trying to, you know, fire the shock darts from, but they were clearly intended to land there.
Yeah.
That must be very precise.
But here we go. Running away onto the side to realize the time is of the essence. Satchel. Busha couldn't land a clean shot. Aim wasn't reset. All this Yuto being used as well. Even one out in the open. Up to just Ethan. Not a winnable round ahead of him. Not when he's up against the rolling thunder.
Mereka kira tuh pakai, mereka tuh kayak tadi pakai bridge sama pakai shock dart sofa, tapi shock dart sofa kayak nggak kena lagi deh. Emang dia tahu kan sebenarnya nggak hancur bridge doang, tapi dia mau pakai shock dart sofa. Ternyata nggak kena.
There are a couple of very small positional adjustments you can make with your lockdown in tunnel, depending on whether you want to tuck it into the corner or not. But all right, so here's Com. Just stuck towards the end. Yeah, this is him getting caught towards the end. I mean, he's already used his shocks at this point, and he just gets stuck inside tower. Poor guy. Easy pickings for RB, though. Farming it up. That's going to help for DRX.
Not really replicatable, though, is it, DRX?
Not until they have
on the misplay a little bit.
Yeah, so. Not until they have a whole other lockdown on charge.
Yeah, but the A split did work fast.
Bisa sih guys, cuman kayak agak susah sini map ini. Soalnya mapnya kepegang banget sama EG guys.
Slow at the beginning.
But I like this. The slower and more contact that you make the beginning of this, the less timing you give each.
Apa bang? Valorant.jj, FLR.jj.
Drone to set it up. Fault line as well. Already working their way through. Lit up. Gonna be the kills returned. Ethan making the most of that one there. Flash in his face. Boostier's got back away. There's a rolling thunder. He's locked up, yet stunned up. Still lands the kill. Bullet to the cranium. Hunter's Fury to supplement and help out in the back. Players can start to swarm this one. It's a 2 versus 2. Spike picked up, nade to deny, and another showstopper in the back pocket. There's a shot the recon, and there's a showstopper. Rocketing forwards, blitzering pace. Jorgamo to clean it up.
Big play from Jorgamo there too, but to me, it's Boostio that's the hero of the round, as he was in the game against Foot. There you see him scratching the back of his head, wondering whether, yeah, we played that pretty well. I got a couple of kills while I was stunned up. I mean, that one on Stacks is a round changer. Oh, yeah. Stacks is able to get it, but it's the combo of utility. It's very good breach utility as they come through. There's a Hunter's Fury there, putting enormous amounts of pressure on the people coming into sight. And EG are trying to flood defend A. Very different idea compared to how they're defending B by getting those retakes off, challenging other areas.
Apa ini guys, mereka ngedrop banget, Cok. DRX, Cok.
Until DRX have thrown those smokes and then pile through them with breach and Sova util. And this is the thing, DRX are just going to run the same kind of execs over and over. They're not a team that changes very much. That's been a major criticism of them.
There's not much nuance in their playbook. That's what we were hoping to see, I think, heading into this tournament, and you have to be ready for this. Lit up onto the ropes. Will you be able to get out a satchel? You will not escape Jorgamo's sight.
This time, EG are not set up to be able to flood defend A because they went for that play over towards Dish. So now we're going to see a different application of the defense. Mako with his orbital strike and with his molly can't be pressured. There's nobody pushing.
Udah berapa kali digituin, Cok,
really good setup for
masih lagi
DRX
begitu
right
lagi.
Should be in theory. Here's a lockdown.
Orbital strike can get rid of that.
But I don't think they even want to. Nobody's playing offside. They do. They still opt to be using this one. It's a wide face there. Foxy9, he was alone onto the site. He's taken out early enough. A tap onto it. Spikes there, after shot round the corner, round the side, facing RB. Man of the hour. Reattempt, reaggress right here. Com sticking his half right through the molly. He's bought a lifeline, yet still shut down. Team in one. Not able to grasp it.
Stacks with the clutch at the end. And you can see, they were still getting contested. That push through door put a lot of pressure on DRX. They also forced out the orbital strike early, so it couldn't just be used on the plant. But here's that molly. Mako uncontested, no flank on the retake. And in the end, even after Com got half, it came down to this 1v1. Whoever won it would have been able to secure the round. And Stacks comes through big for his team. That's only his 3rd kill of the map so far, but he wins his team a whole round off the back of it and knocks EG down onto an eco.
Bombaya.
You can feel how scared DRX are. Dump a bit of the same utility, familiar kind of beginning to a round there, but Foxy9 was pre-aiming where the dart was last time. They're really quite concerned of being crunched. I do like the approach though. Slow default, over the ropes though.
Okay,
the rest of his team. So they were just hoping for a bit of aggression when EG's on that half bite.
Which makes sense. EG went for a crunch last time, south side.
Kita fokus lagi mendukung DRX.
Foxy9 and RB are 2 away. Look at the timing though that EG are taking. Similar kind of timing. 1 minute on the clock, they go and clear out an area. So this is just an info play. DRX though should be able to take a sight off the back of this. They might be too slow. Nevertheless, the economy advantage should win them this round, but they are going into 5.
Yeah, they are going into 5. The read is there from EG, all the way pushed through. Nade gets them in, double satchel. Shorty in his hands, but he's right up in the air. Easily shot right out of the skies. Making sure to contain all the smokes as well. That flood attempt was...
Jadwal gamernya apa aja Bang Rio? Mungkin Nobar Valorant, Guardian Tales nanti agak maleman, terus ntar Diablo agak begadang, belum Diablo paling satu game lagi paling guys.
But it gives us a little bit of downtime here. Coming into the half, I'm sure both coaches are going to have a lot to say in terms of helping their teams.
8-4 lah minimal lah.
Termi's already used one of his timeouts, remember? And I think just in general, the coaching clash is so interesting to me, Brent, because there's been a lot of conversation with the Pacific fans about how Termi's managed his timeouts and the selection of rosters that they put into the game and how tumultuous everything seems on the DRX side. And all of that comes from Termi, and the coaching staff that spreads out further than him. And on the other side, you have Potter, whose timeouts have been extremely impactful whenever EG has also built, changed the roster in a way that propelled the team to success and has added a lot of good structure.
Makasih Enggar, makasih ya. Semangat solanya.
To talk with the rest of the team as EG pause. But I do think that the arc or the ascension and descension of these coaches are on very different pathways at the moment, and I think that's one of the big things that Termi's got to figure out in order to have a chance to win this tournament.
Yeah, but I will say, you look at Stacks, I don't think I've ever seen him this stressed early on in a tournament.
Yeah.
Too many smiles, not too much joyous whimsy. It's been quite stern.
There's got to be a lot of pressure on him as the IGL to try and figure out a system when it's constantly changing.
DRX 4, EG 7.
Not just that, I think he's individually struggled at times, in their games against Paperrex domestically, to be able to get a good read on how to manage such a run. So yeah, tough times. But DRX are coming into the final round here with two big ultimates to work with. The Fade ult was incredibly useful last time at being able to put pressure on the side anchors, although they took it B.
Showstopper. What an increase all the way through. Let's see if Foxy9 can get any value. Nade, rebounds, flash to try and push it back. He fires it off.
Ethan's flash.
Oh, it's a random spam. It's a random spray all the way through. What a lead going straight through an exchange as well. Of bullets, a flash as well to try and push through, and it's a 3-2-1 swing into the smoke. Lit up though. Jogo can't hear anything, doesn't know that his position is being swarmed, and there we go, it's covered. Com round the back, and just like that, blink of an eye. That's the last round of this first half, it's over.
So interesting the way that they were playing like a flanky retake play over towards B, and then a hard anchor defense on A. The initiator utility, immaculate from Ethan, from Com. I mean, there's a flash there to be able to completely blind Foxy9. All the rest of the breach utility gets used to stop them coming through, and then there's a dart on the wall to help some more.
It's
all beautiful from EG, and they go up 8-4 at the half.
Reaksinya ini kayak orang Filipina guys ya.
Adapting as well to a lot of that pace that DRX were throwing towards into the A side as well. So back and forth. It's an 8-4 half that we find ourselves in, sitting at here with EG.
Kuat banget anjir ini musuhnya coy, aduh ngeri banget coy.
An interesting one. Let's find out what the desk has to say and break it all down so far.
Devon 1. Ini Devon 1 ini Devon 1 anjing.
Guys, what a great half for Valorant. Just good.
Oh, dia orang Kamboja. Wih, gila. Main di NI keren juga ya.
It's interesting to see the differences in utility here. DRX, they don't want to use much because they rely on the post plant. And EG are happy to burn up the layering of like the flashes and the darts, and putting them in so many different positions as well. Early round to find first bloods, but then supporting their sight anchors as well. It's actually so beautiful to watch.
And if it's not a dart coming in, it's also Djaja, who has been so proactive this map.
Orang jago banget, Cok.
South side takes where he's fighting off of a dart from Com to take space for the team, or if it's in the retakes where that dart and flash is coming in to support the sight anchor. And
Kapten DRX siapa? Stacks, bro. Orang jago banget, Cok. Cuma lagi nyala banget di game ini guys dia.
Individually winning rounds in ridiculous fashion. This is a guy who we don't get to see on the Rays much anymore. He's been roll swapped over the controller.
Evangelion ada logo Wolverhampton bang. Mungkin bukan logo Wolverhampton. Dia itu sponsor utama. Biasanya begitu.
Popping off in this first half, and it put EG in so many good positions to close out rounds. We were talking about DRX's ability to flip 4v5s. I think it actually even came that first post plant came with the, I think round 6, right, with the 2 sheriff kills from Marco on A side. That was about it. That was from the first few rounds the only positive that DRX could pull.
Yeah, now heading into
Ini si Killjoy ini si Bas harus balik, Cok. Si Bas tadi turu mulu, cuy.
on this one, but with the, or excuse me, on their defensive side as well. But with this composition, you don't have quite as many tools to support your side anchors, and you're gonna have to be playing the retake a lot more. The thing to look out for, though, in my opinion, is how Stax and RP are combining their utility. Can they get similar value with this fade, with the flash starts to scan as EG's executing?
Yeah, and I think actually it comes back to the conversation we were having earlier, right? What can Foxy9 deliver?
Bas kebanyakan ngintil, jangan toxic, hey.
Supportive utility he does have.
I mean, let's see what they can do, because if they don't, then they're going to be losing one map down already in this very crucial game and be dethroned.
8-4 kalau pistol menang 8-6 bisa banget, guys. Ini ada apa pistol sih? Chamberan itu mau, guys. Chamberan.
DRX ended up losing in the group stage as well. I brought up in our game yesterday, Josh. You know, they've lost 2 matches in their group stage international appearances ever. That's out of 10 currently
buff
played.
is real, anjay.
They got an 80% win rate. That's not quick maths right there. Quick maths.
Nih, Bas sama Stax harus melek sih, guys.
And it's not a great start. Don't get me wrong here. EG have clearly come out.
Yo, game 18-7 coy, smurfing dia anjir.
Kind of shaken out quite nicely for both of these teams in the theory of it, but it's EG who have the lead.
It's a must-win pistol round, I think, for DRX.
Yeah.
You know, normally when they get the success on this map, I think about it being potent on the attack side. Although we were talking, even when we were casting them against ASE, that their defense side against DFM was really good.
Waves of the utility being used as well to try and take this tower control, but they're all grouped up in there. Could be cause for concern because they're all grouped up. And a right click is tearing them to pieces. Buzz having a field day, but from behind, Ethan, he does help them out. Close to Jenny, they get themselves onto the site, and they do have relatively decent post plan. I believe this is a reflank attempt by Com to the back of tunnel. He's going to be meeting, Foxy9.
Nice, Foxy dapat satu.
Wins out that fight, a critical one here for DRX. It's evened it up into a 2 versus 2.
And now I think they should have a good idea about where RB is, that it was a double flank. However, you can't be completely sure of that. Foxy9's got good utility as well to stop anybody peeking from tower. That could potentially isolate a 1v1 on site. Winnable for both sides here.
Look at this, Aftershock still available. Is it in a position where he can really use it? Tap onto it, gets him off. It's a swing into the 1-on-1. RB sticking, he gets his half. Jump spot gets him off a tap. It forces the fight from Ethan again. How does he want to play this one? Around to the side, and there it is. 4 for Ethan. This guy has been an absolute menace to any team that goes up against EG. The latter half of the regular season in Americas, throughout all of playoffs, he's been reaching new heights.
He's been a rock. In terms of all of the utility and then crucial moments
Si Mako
like
sama
this,
Sex mati
Ethan is
kenapa
the
lagi?
rock that EG can rely on. You've heard Potter talk about it previously as well, how much his experience and communication means to them in the game.
Ala pistol ngeri nih, guys.
Also given him and Com both a lot of credit for helping with the mid-round. But yeah, that's really well played by both RB and him in the clutch there, but Ethan gets just
kayaknya juara 2 apa juara 3 deh kayaknya, guys. Apa juara 2 dia? Kayaknya juara 2 apa juara 3 sih, guys?
DRX's chances on fracture barring something
Beli Phantom anjing.
Really should be.
Phantom 2 orang, Cok.
Must win. 9-4, staring at a potential map loss here for DRX. At this point as well, usual game plan going to be to try and farm up some of these orbs. It's typically what they end up doing on the eco rounds of these fracture maps that they play. The smokes drop down, this seems to be the go button. There it is, it's hit for EG. Taking up to the site.
Aduh, Bas
was potential nuisance there, just sitting himself down into Arcade. An attempt to disrupt as well and get the spike denied from the plant, but
3, oh 3, 2 energi.
Very healthy.
Ini juara 2, juara 3-nya begini, Cok, ngeri banget dah. Anjir.
Extremely clean.
Juara 3-nya, bro.
Building up towards some ultimates, but non-massively online.
Seriously, juara 3 begini, guys.
Nevertheless, I think you can see that they're also aware of the way that DRX want to defend B. The main way that DRX are going to defend B is by having one player hard anchor around Dice or around Tower, and then Stax and Mako are going to find timing to push through the smoke, like that. And even though Stax only has a pistol in that situation, I think, you know, that's something that EG have to be very aware of.
Nah, kalau DRX kalah ada lower bracket, guys. Lower bracketnya lawan siapa ya berarti DRX ya? Lawan antara Cina atau itu, guys, yang kalah kemarin sama EG.
is boatload of utility. Send flying, arcing right over towards drop. So control of that's going to be gained now for EG. And talking about the health of their economy as well. I mean, there's so much danger in this round, even still for DRX.
Gak sabar playoff bang, iyalah jelas. Paling ditunggu-tunggu ya playoff cuy. Ya serang DRX vandal semua, ada apa ini guys? What's wrong? Biasa phantom loh. AC atau FUT bang, masih bisa lah kalau AC atau FUT guys. Aman guys, DRX mau bisa coba.
But they're just baiting out this defensive utility, and now this second wave is going to be where they commit.
Still have the nade. Flash to accompany. It's all combined together. Doesn't actually connect there. Satchel, the movement. It is nice, but Arby was ready as well to contain.
Nice threat, bro.
The side, all the way through spawn. A fight to be taken. Boostio! Landed 2. He spots the third, and Demon 1 has also got his sight set on him. They know exactly where he is, but the movement is quite gorgeous. Foxy9. So a little jiggle out to the side with 4 bullets left in the rifle. A reload risked. Doesn't know where Buzz is. So the position could be anywhere with 30 seconds into the round. Spike out into the open.
MSI emang jam berapa coy?
Not a lot of health to work with.
Valorant dulu aja guys, biar seru coy.
Force an early fight.
Now that Busio's gone silent for so long, Buzz was worried he went up.
Okay, Spike gained 15 seconds though. Is he really going to try and pivot? Is he going to clear this corner? No, Knife has to be out as well if he was to make that timing. And so there's a gamble in the 1v2. But DRX, they do win their buy round. They stop that bonus from really getting away with too much.
Yo guys, bisa guys, 10-5 yuk.
EG with worse weaponry for sure, and still a good attack idea. I think the utility and the way the Jorgamo entries onto this site is dangerous, it's difficult to work with, and DRX had a decent answer. They didn't use all of their utility, just to fend off the first few probes.
Ambeka agak susah, cuma masih bisa sih guys. Possible kalau ini menang lagi.
Make too much of a change in terms of how teams play. I'm looking towards Boostio because he's only 1 away from that lockdown. Of course, Ethan 1 away also from the Rolling Thunder, so that depends which one you particularly want to prioritize.
Shot dart.
It's gonna be Ethan.
Yeah, Thanos almost broken, I believe, off of.
Oh, mereka ngambilin orbnya coy, pada bisa ulti anjir.
Look how active Boostio is here. You don't see Killjoy players do that often. He isn't active yet. I mean, DRX trying to take the fight straight out of halls.
Lex doang kan bisa di ini coy.
Yeah, so that was fended off. Foxy9 goes down. And now, with the space on the map that Boostio's got, as you mentioned earlier, that's going to allow EG to go through the rope and back over to him. They can set up for some kind of north side push.
Yeah.
It looks like Ethan's going to try and ult them into the players or something. I mean, Ethan's going to be asked to do quite a lot here. Both of the breaches battling in A main.
Jump spot, a chance. Okay, all committed. 2 stacks was there, there's a dart at his back. The aftershock slowed to a crawl. Smoke dropped down as well, it's cut it all the way up. Another stun to supplement and swing through. Fight to be taken this way, that way. Evacuation. And shots rattled off.
That is immaculate from EG. I mean, what a play. How creative is that? Find a player at door, breach ult them, Sova dart them. You've got Jorgamo coming through on one side, Ethan on the other. This team's creativity is unbelievable. You think historically, it's DRX that we've discussed.
Lagi bau coy.
Plays. How many teams have a strat called Vision Strikers or DRX? Almost all of them.
Yeah.
And yet, in terms of the creativity and the set plays, we're watching them get outdone.
He just worked it.
Dude, Stacks not only got breach ulted, he also then got fault locked afterwards.
Aftershock used.
He's got no chance.
He couldn't stand still.
I almost hit a spray closet.
Yalah DRX lah.
And they're vibing.
Ada apa dengan kamu DRX?
Spirits are high. Definitely. Forcing the timeout. The last one here for DRX. It's 11-5 on this map here of Fracture. That's the evolution of this EG team. I mean, they come in with these really excellent ideas. I said this before as well in America when we're watching a team like EG. What point does a gimmick comp just become the meta? What point does it no longer be a joke?
Oh,
it's when it starts winning, and EG have got a lot of success. There's a lot of evidence behind them in terms of this Fracture comp. They have so many ideas, twists and turns. The playbook runs deep.
And think about how DRX were winning Fracture yesterday against Attack and Soul. Even though they were getting pushed and they ended up winning 13-10, it was actually individual huge moments that were carrying them through. We had Mako going crazy on Fracture, for example. there is no way that an individual can outplay the waves of utility that are cascading into you on a set strat like that. EG are just almost guaranteed to be able to get a player
DRX,
advantage.
bro. Come on, bro.
It's oppressive. And it makes it very hard for the individual brilliance on DRX to shine through.
It's left the team reeling, looking for answers.
Riot gun body, bang.
EG making sure that they control any level of
Tapi
tree
ini masalah kalahnya nih, ini ngeri guys. Kalau mainnya kayak begini, kemungkinan besar bisa dibantai, cok. Yang nggak percaya, guys.
Alarmbot first to make sure nobody was flanking through arcade.
Kena ulti kan?
And this would be extremely effective against somebody like Buzz, who's been anchoring tower a lot. But DRX have read it and they're playing off-site.
Fully away out of it. Fault line Hunters Fury right in the gap of where they were going to be standing. I tell you, man, this playbook you print out, you'd be weighing down the desk.
It's so deep, it's so good.
Just those extra elements that they throw in. You think it's going to be standard, not quite at all.
Oh, I like that though.
There's a nade to try and clear out tower. Satchel, the movement's quite nice, but again, another nade to push it back, so Foxy9 can't quite swing onto this. Fight taken, tower cleared out. Job might be done there, but do they have enough to try and disrupt this post plant setup again? A taste of their own medicine. There's an aftershock waiting underneath tunnel. Find him a couple of seconds, but the fight needs to be won out here. Com, Boostio, playing together. Tap onto the spike. Boostio wins his. Fault line's really nice, and they want to take it to him. It's Boostio. Beams him down. Rifle in hand. Util to supplement.
Orang kesurupan siapa,
Solid
cok?
anti-eco puts EG up at map point. And this match, or map, has been a nerd's delight. There's just so many cool things that are being showcased here against the DRXs playing their standard game. We've heard those high-pitched Boostio excitement noises quite a lot so far this tournament. They've only played two
Jauh
matches,
game, ngeri banget, cok. Demon 1 belum 4 sini, guys.
Alright, can DRX pull something out here? The 7-round deficit would be so difficult.
Fault line held. It's an orbital strike! Oh, it's all combined. The nade as well. You try and get out of harm's reach.
No one even used a rifle.
Yeah, not likely, man. They're playing a different game.
They are. I mean, this is the Valorant of the future.
Yeah, Project A, blah, 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 whatever it is. Stimmy, drop down. Let's finish this. That's what EG is saying.
Now Giacomo's going to have a showstopper online.
Yeah, and here it is. Just a snowball. The ult's rotating behind Dice, though. Not cleared, and Buzz, he does put that down. Mako, smoke to help out his teammate. Aftershock misses, doesn't clear it, in and out, weaving this way, that way. Buzz, can he get a little bit more? He can. Straight through. Jenny's watched for. Brings down 3. Doesn't find even 1, though. Before he can get any much else going, RB left alone to do the most. He's brought it to a one-on-one. Nightfall. It's there. Dodge, though. Demon 1 not tagged by it. Spots it out. 35 seconds. This is the stay in the map. Demon 1.
30
this guy
seconds
really
left.
is the final boss. Don't want to be going up against him. Grabs the spike. Seconds left in the round. Take his time ever so slightly.
RB has been the clutch monster in Pacific this year.
Spike planted.
That's stuck. Where's the positioning? Where's it coming from? Demon 1 stuck into the corner. Peeks it wide. A jiggle. Forces it. He knows where RB is. RB. Pressure mounting. Can he do it? Wider face. Wider swing. Really being tested. Challenged this way, that way. Haunts up in 5, but really does he even have time to spare?
Gila kan?
He doesn't. And just like that, map 1 in the books, wrapped up. Pretty bow on it for EG.
A great way for it to finish with Demon 1 tap. That's the kind of aim style that he has. But it doesn't really get demonstrated when EG absolutely outplay their opponents in terms of the utility and the set plays, the ideas that they have. I mean, this was destructive, absolutely. And I'm thinking back to a quote that Buzz had in the press conference where he said, in the grand finals against Paperrex, they exposed our weaknesses in the map pool and our play style. And I feel like, well, he had said they'd made some adjustments to try and shore that up, but this map to me feels very similar. They're targeting the weaknesses of DRX's map pool, even though it's a map that DRX like. It looks weak in terms of like international caliber of play.
Ini pada ngeri, cok. Nih tim-tim yang bakal ngeri juga guys ya di playoff ya.
Post-plant play, that exec heavy stuff. Just a masterclass, absolute masterclass from EG.
Top to bottom, man. So many ideas being thrown out, the right adjustments. 13-5 versus DRX. If you're a casual fan as well, you've been
Ngeri anjir
watching
ini,
this
Cok.
one, you're probably left wondering
Ngeri, Cok, anjing ngeliatnya.
what's going on here.
Ini playoff kalau mainnya begini sih, dia black horse sih hitungannya, guys.
But listen, it's a rude awakening to anybody who's unaware of this squad because they have been making waves in Americas and looking to do the same at Tokyo.
And I think they've got a great chance of doing it, honestly.
One enemy remaining.
This map pool coming up, we've got some great ones.
Lagi kita Paperrex mana nggak tahu, Cok.
The poll's been looking a little bit shaky for DRX, despite the fact that they've been winning on it in Pacific. Ascent, though, should be an absolute banger. That's where we're really going to see those rookie players unleashed. The Foxy 9 Demon 1 battle. I am stoked for map 2.
That is going to be fantastic. It's a map that DRX, they've made great adjustments on. Listen, it's been back and forth. They're stronger ones as well. It should be shaping up to be quite a series.
Ngeri anjir orang ini, Cok.
Dream, the next one is just going to be brutal.
Paperrex di Copenhagen nggak sih si
Well,
Ryuji?
that's going to do it for map number
Kayaknya lebih
1.
ngeri lagi, Cok. Ini ngeri banget, coy.
Breaks it all down. You don't want to go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Oh my god, I'm so...
Ngeri anjir. Ngeri cuy, ini gimana cuy? Udah WhatsApp, Cok, lupa, Cok. Tutup. Hampir kebuka WhatsApp gue, Cok. Wah anjir lagi. Oh, lagi epos guys ya. Pengen nonton deh. Popcat dulu nggak sih? Popcat. La. Gua kejar 10.000 loot, Cok. Gua kejar. Kejar semua lucu, gue kejar lo. Gue kejar, Cok, lu semua, Cok, gue kejar. Ini rusak keyboard gue nggak sih, guys, kayak gini, guys? Kita berapa guys sekarang ya? Baru 4 juta guys ya? Enggak deh. Berapa sih itu? Baru 4 miliar guys ya? Gila, Monte udah ada lagi, Monte. Nice banget, Monte. Kan dari 2.000 ke 10.000 cepet kan gue. Kita tuh kalau namanya berusaha mendukung negara tuh nggak boleh curang, guys. Alasan banget ya. Namanya nggak curang, cok. Namanya real. Gue menjadi atlet popcat Indonesia, guys ya. Biar latih kerja, cok. Nih, latih ya. Siang-siang ini minum apa, Bang ya? Minum air putih. Indonesia, yang ku cinta. Guys, 13.000 guys. Penonton di sini. Penonton ini tapi di sini nontonnya
in that game plan, but they're calling stuff on the fly. Like, so many of these plays are like preset. You think of that round where they're crunching cells. Like, a lot of that is ideas they had ahead of time. But rounds where they're just so vaulting to support teammates anchoring on the site, that can't be preset. That's all ideas on the fly. And EG is incredible at finding those adaptations.
I mean, every single piece of that puzzle just came together, I feel like, every round in that second half. But let's take a look at our Verizon high-speed moment. And this one goes to, honestly, the entire organization of EG. Maybe on round 7 for being able to pull this off.
I mean, this was an eco round for them after DRX got their first real win, and instantly they pull this one out.
This was the perfect read on the game as well. DRX not finding value towards B, they win around on A. EG have the perfect setup to crunch outside here, and they completely sucker punch DRX. They don't even have a say in it.
Bisa nih bang, one T bang. Bisa aja sih.
Their A hit or their B hit, their default is 4-1ing on that south side constantly. And clearly, EG watched that, was ready for it, and not only had those pushes from A main, they had the crunch on that round, they had different variations to punish the same setup for DRX. And I think that's what makes this team so good. They don't just have one idea of how to counter-strat, how to prepare. They have multiple iterations.
DRX, bangkit. Masa mau di 2-0-in?
Towards the end, that was basically a GG go next for DRX. You know, if you are them, maybe you try and forget about it because we're going to move on to map 2, and we're going to move on to pretty much a historical pillar of DRX.
Yeah, you definitely say that, but it's
Fracture emang map kalahnya ini deh kayaknya guys. Sering banget kalah ya Fracture di Fracture, cok.
A tilter for DRX to come in now, to have to reset, potentially bring out a new comp, or I guess a changing comp and a slight switch up in roles. That's the big question for me, because Demon One, excelling on the Brimstone, now has the opportunity to really stretch his legs on the Jet.
Yeah, he is always insane on this map, and I think that the Ascent has been the best example of EG's improvement throughout Americas. At the start of the season, they were showing us some of the gimmicks, some of the little ideas, but they were struggling on the fundamentals. They were making a lot of mistakes in the mid-round on the attacking side, but deeper. And in the playoffs of Americas, they started improving so much. I think Busio really found his stride calling on this map. They do a great job of, similar to Fracture actually, leveraging comms utility to set Demon One up, to get information on the mid-round and make really sound decisions.
I mean, also when it comes to, you've always been bigging up the prep of Potter and all of the staff from EG. They, yesterday, it felt like they knew that they had to play Lotus, and their game plan was great. They managed to beat a team on their best map. Surely, they know they have to play Ascent today.
I think you've hit the nail on the head, because Potter's saying we expected this veto has to be terrifying if you're DRX, honestly. You're playing into EG in terrifying form, and actually them expecting this, you know they're going to pull all the stops out.
Oke, Foxy9 Jet pakai OP sih harusnya guys. Demon One yang Jet. Wow.
Stuff that everyone has been playing, the meta in the Prime Gaming Agent Select here. This is a map where DRX in the past has been the innovator, has tried new things, but right now, they're almost playing the same stuff they have for a while. We haven't seen them be able to add new ideas onto this map. I think part of it is this constant switch back and forth. It's the same comp, but stuff really changes when you're pivoting between two players and swapping those roles around.
Sure, two big concerns we mentioned.
Peresta tanggal 24 bang, kagak 24 cok, 16 cok, 17 playoffnya.
Again, massive concern on Fracture here.
Jet Demon One emang ngeri guys ya?
Yeah, I think so too. But the thing is, if there is going to be a place where DRX can find a kind of a beacon of light, can come back, surely it is Ascent.
Apa nggak ikut bang? Ikut apa cu?
It has to be. This has always been a super strong map for DRX. This is a map about fundamentals, about execution, the basic stuff that you expect DRX to excel at. But after map number one, DRX unstoppable.
For EG, they are one map away from making it out of groups as the first team. I cannot believe Bren and Sai showed that I'm saying that right now. What about you guys?
Oh, ada logo Premier League bang. Itu kayaknya salah satu founder juga guys, si tim Wolfright itu guys.
That wasn't supposed to be an opportunity.
I'm going to use it. I'm going to take the opportunity to glow. It's offered to me. I'm taking it. Listen, I'm taking it, man. I'm taking it. And here, this is it. DRX is the staging ground for Ascent. I mean, listen, it was a good setup, because when I was doing the VOD prep as well for these teams, I was liking the adjustments that DRX made on Ascent as a map. They were learning from their losses, actually, coming through their own playoff run.
Yes.
And it was one of their better maps.
Definitely.
But the aspect I'm really excited for is the rookies, Josh.
Yeah.
I mean, that Jet head-to-head battle between Demon One and Foxy9 is going to be, hopefully, quite fantastic.
Yeah, it should be crazy. We actually haven't had like a map where Demon One has dominated. Boostio did most of the work yesterday, and then Jorgamo and Boostio, actually, to be honest, took over on that, along with basically just being a strategical outplay. But yeah, the arcs of both of these players are similar, and here they go, clashing in B main.
A bit slow to begin with, just a turret, lay it up here. The knife for a knife as well. Foxy9, he can actually dash forward, it was active, but he couldn't use it. A Demon One.
Anjing Demon One dapat dua tiba-tiba
strike back.
Oh, that's unfair.
Yep.
I mean, Foxy just had his wings clipped by Ethan, whose utility was absolutely immaculate on Fracture and continues to be so again here on Ascent. You normally expect Ethan to be over in A main, catwalk kind of area, but he's floating because they have the Killjoy setup over there.
It's a deep lurk though from Boostio. Took up all that space towards A main. He's punished. Just hunting for a bit of that information.
I like that smoke from Mako. It denies any information from people over towards A. But I think Jorgamo's already got the read here. They're searching for information on both sides of the map.
Looks away for a second RB.
Timingnya bro.
What was he?
I don't know.
Looking at?
I don't know what he's
Spike-nya,
anticipating, man. Maybe somebody's just going to start ghosting around the map. I'm not sure, but that's left a spike out in the open.
Did one of his teammates call that they could have found a timing on him through their own spawn? That is bizarre.
That is really quite odd, but he's missed that one. This reflank, this repush. Stacks still alive, 70 health. Weapon picked up. Trying to take a clean fight. He does offset the movement. No one's really giving him anything, though. They were just buying time for Jorgamo to wrap all the way around.
Kalau pisau mulu DRX kenapa dah?
For EG, off to a similar beginning as map number one.
And it's not just the fact that both of the least experienced players are playing Jet that makes this story between Demon 1 and Foxy9 interesting. It's also the fact that they've come in so recently to teams that have got some level of establishment, and they've been given a huge amount of work to do. And yet, Demon 1, I feel, has instantly fit into the system and propelled his team forwards.
Demon 1 yang ngeri banget ya guys ya. Gue gak pernah denger namanya loh, dari kemarin tuh tiba-tiba ada pemain sejago ini, Cok.
I'll be pointing it out throughout this attack side, but I have real issues with the way the DRX are playing their attacks recently. It's way too exec heavy.
Playoff tanggal 15 atau 16. 16-17 kalau
double wave pushes. Again, I'll get into it when there's an example to showcase, but
ya mati nih belakangnya nih.
Demon 1 is looking confident already, isn't he?
Look at that, taking liberties against the eco. He's not worried about giving away any of the weaponry. This way, that way.
I like the idea.
Yeah. Cheeky attempt. Just up the stacks though, it's not looking likely here, but EG...
Kayak something bang, dia masuk nggak dari awal season langsung jadi monster. Oh.
It's really quite difficult, I think, to get a hold of where EG might be bad at with their map pool.
Absolutely.
They've had a lot of wins across the board on a multitude of maps. It makes them a difficult team to prep into.
I think they have a very solid map pool. Anything that they spend a serious amount of time on, they seem to get good at pretty quickly.
Ngeri banget, Cok, EG, Cok.
I couldn't really pick a map where I think DRX has a major advantage. The weaponry advantage, though, is massive in favor of DRX here.
Kalau DRX di ebol-ebol 2-0 sih gue nggak tahu lagi ya gimana mau survive-nya mereka ya. Susah, Cok. Susah, guys. DRX, guys, kalau ini 2-0, kalau misalnya ini 4-0 aja.
Paranoia so deep. What is that?
Oh, what a shot. The flick is perfect there. The set play, it actually rarely works, that one. But that time finding major value, and that's taking the smokes out too. Makes the attacking round very difficult to call.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gobsmacked still. But a reaction here from DRX. Smoke to block that. Close the door, try and get themselves into this B site. Cleaned out. Angles watchable, nobody anchoring towards the back, so they'll be able to get that plant down, and they still have B main control, but it's a critical one to hold. RB is being swarmed. It's 3 players just trying to
Bisa dong, balik dong.
Deep flash as well. TP into the corner. RB spots. He doesn't know which way
bisa dong
to
sendirian di situ, Coy.
out.
Red kill lah. Mainnya satu orang begitu di rush 3 orang pasti kalah, Coy.
This hold just getting a little bit weaker now for DRX. Has to be a massive heroic play, and it just can't be the case. Dropping right down. How does Jorgo get it? Every crossfire picked apart, broken to pieces, and it's a bonus round win for EG.
My ult's ready.
Mainnya aneh banget, Cok. Post-play-nya di DRX kenapa dah?
We've seen a lot of teams go for that same kind of play. You smoke off tiles, you paranoia. So take a look at the paranoia here. It does actually catch on the Mako, but most of the time that player is going to be able to escape, or the Jet ends up getting punished. But there, everything that EG are doing today is working exactly to punish DRX. And that level of momentum where you pull out a set play to be able to win the bonus.
Let's go!
It just works perfectly. And yeah, Potter's as surprised as we are that Jorgamo was just able to leap into sight and get the kill.
How is he resetting his aim that fast?
Gacor banget nih Demon 1, anjir, ngeri banget. Udah punya ulti lagi.
But to me, I mean, that little, the protocol to clear out B main is so impressive too.
Yeah. Deep flash TP across.
And this is a pistol round setup actually on defense here that EG are using, that we've seen a lot of teams go for. Demon 1 takes contact, dashes away, and that sets up Jorgamo hiding in the corner as bait.
The idea is you don't expect the Omen to just be hiding there. Dashing forwards, he has to take care of so much, dashing away. How is Demon 1 surviving? But here it is, the bait and switch. Triple face up, already taking the fight. Right to them this time.
Gini dong. DRX, back.
The ground as well, making sure the players can swing out of heaven.
And they've needed that DRX. Mako with the Bulldog going nuts there.
He's would have been the player that they can really count on. EG though, still want to make a go of this one. They have the money.
Mako nih, bos.
Answering back, picks up the rifle, repositions. Com just needs to get out of there.
He does a little 180 twist step away.
Mako being the playmaker there when he needed it.
And he finishes it as well.
Ya kan?
I mean,
gue tahu, Cok. Mako lagi panas gila, Cok.
He avoids all of the pressure early on, gets away, dodges the paranoia, and he's just set up perfectly with a Bulldog. You see the way the DRX are using the light armor a lot. It allows them to invest on rounds like this. This was a half buy, and yet Mako still had enough to have the Bulldog. I don't think he's able to have that level of impact if he's only got, you know, a Sheriff or a Stinger or something like that. That's a big one. Helps the vibes as well for DRX because going down 4-0.
Mako, makan kolak.
Now they're dealing with a different.
Mako, makan kolak.
Oh wait, what is this? Leviathan spam?
It's a bit of a fake, so it feels a bit like Leviathan spam. I think the idea being that you drive people into Demon 1's op. Look at how passive Demon 1 is set up on B with that operator. He was hoping that DRX would react into him. He's just having a friendly look at the turret there.
Yeah. Why's he got his sight set on Timmy? What did he do? Well, it still holds.
Ngapa nge-pick situ dia?
I mean, at this point, the turret holding contact in B main is actually pretty useful for them because they know that B main hasn't been breached by DRX.
Nih, ini kayak Paperrex nih, gitu. Gak bandel suka nge-pick lihat deh.
It's been slowed down.
Tapi mereka lagi ngeri soalnya kalau nggak juga apa-apa gitu.
Yeah, we have Boostio playing offside because there is that no command available.
Ini angle apaan, Cok? Dua orang di situ, Cok.
Ready and waiting now. Smoke drop down, flash as well. Demon 1. That's just reactions. Anticipating the swing, and that's just instinct fire, man. It's unreal. Light them up. The supportive utility comes in waves right over. Reinforcements have arrived, and no one will cross the gap. Stacks will get himself into the side. The Shakhtar's lucky to survive. Oh my goodness. 2 health.
He had 1 to spare.
Spike planted, but you have to see a miracle. A big moment, a big step up. Mako, can he do it again? Maybe the potential is there. Flash over the top. They made it winnable, but it's all up to Stacks, and he just can't reset the aim. Player advantage, the health advantage, it was there for EG. Decent try.
Valiant effort, it really was. Mako and Stacks almost pulling some magic out again. That's what it seems like it's going to require at this point. That's 2 kills where Demon 1 cannot see an opponent, and he's just doing it purely off timing. Unbelievable. Very unfortunate for DRX, because that should be a situation where they're able to play a post plan and get into comfortable spots. You expect maybe to lose 1 to some spam.
Losing 2.
Orang jago begitu guys ya. Nembak mau kena smoke juga, bodo amat lah. Tahu mereka apa kira-kira orang lewatnya kapan.
Round taken out. So DRX don't have something mad aggressive to go for.
Anjay,
that's a nerdy one from Com again. So that makes it feel like the Sova's playing over towards A.
Control taken though. Foxy9 not messing around. Into the corner. Smoke. At his feet, the reposition. A bit of spam as well. A bit further back there. Dart does light up the opposition. Boostio again, he was attempting another reflash. It's a paranoia, they want to push him right into it. They force the dash, he's running the gun, man. Com getting away with it. Another flash repeat over the top. Pushing back this aggression. EG trying to really get a squeeze into mid, but they do back out. They survive.
They just have so many setups.
Oh. Slowing it down, are they? Inside the smoke, they can hear the footsteps. Jorgen was hoping, hunting for the timing. Demon 1 takes it. 1 player left standing, it's Mako. We talked about miracles, but how do you overcome that?
On map 1, the gun rounds went 6-2 in favor of EG, and it was a complete outplay. I mean, the little set plays, the larger strategy, it all went the way of Evil Geniuses. And DRX are taking a timeout here as Termi gets to talk to the team.
DRX cok, kasihan cok.
And not enough respect being given. This is one of the downsides actually of running Foxy9 in this roster, is that I feel like he doesn't have the same experience and discipline. He's not as meticulous with how he enters into areas. When he got stuck in close mid there wasn't an anticipation that he might get crunched. He didn't back off into mid, regroup with the rest of his team. He stayed isolated, stuck between the arches, and picked off first. That was a paranoia that came through from Jorgamo, from Catwalk. You know, so many elaborate
masuk playoff sih sedih juga ya kalau misalnya bisa kalah ya. Tapi masih ada blower bracket kok, tenang guys.
Stop PG, I mean, listen, man.
Is that a command for DRX or is that an angry fan? I'm not sure. They're trying.
Oh, they are certainly trying, but that's what the timeout's for, man. Come up with some solutions.
Kosnya cewek ya, kosnya EG cewek, cok.
Of DRX, I think, as well, because they are so
Ayolah, DRX, you have to bangun. 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 0-0, coba sama Voxy, cok.
Yeah. And when DRX have gone for those slow exploratory plays, EG are picking them to pieces. Yeah. We talked about the Jet battle at the beginning of this map, and the defense side is easier for Jets usually.
Some counter spam potentially from Buzz here.
Oh yeah.
Odin but Odin. Flash over the top though.
He's backed it up
as well. Yeah, he has backed it up.
Yeah, the Jet differential currently is ridiculous. Foxy9's 0 and 5, I think, maybe more than that. And Demon 1 has 9 kills.
Here's the setup again. Flash is nice. Jorgamodo! Oh my god. Again, the shot's coming through. When you remove the Jet player, good luck. Tags down. Drone for a drone. Already into the site. Just got to try and brute force this one. Popping all over the place, Com. Striking him down. Damage is done. Mako responds. Click to the side.
He's been completely saving them on these A hits.
Here's a lockdown though. This is going to be pushing them all the way back. RB doesn't have the ult to try and break this one. Door still down as well. You're going to have to move away from the site. Mako has the ult. He's going to try and dodge this one as well. In play, down into hell. It's cleared out though. Com aware. Mako there. Gets him. Demon 1 still alive with the knives. In and around, trying to force a fight as well early off, but it's a 1v4. There's the one. But okay.
Just go A and let Mako 1v5
balik, cok. Di dodge ultinya, cok. Mako outplay ulti, guys.
It's ridiculous. This guy's defending them from the flood. Then he goes into backside, into hell, and he dodges the ult. Dodges the lockdown with his own ult. And then he cleans up Demon 1 at the end. How Com doesn't get that kill, I'm not quite sure, but it's all Mako. From beginning to end. The vibes can't be too bad in that camp.
He's 10 out of 5.
Yeah. He's the only thing currently that's keeping them in it. They've won 2 rounds on A, where Mako's got 3 and then 4 kills.
Delayed knives. That one broken though, so on the defense side, EG not getting any information.
Santai, main slow aja bro, nggak usah buru-buru.
But yeah, Mako has been the only thing in a minute. Able to keep these buys going.
Buzz has been struggling with B main control. Turret takes early contact there in B main, and he's worried that Demon 1's operator could be playing behind it. So Buzz has to call for help now as DRX are going to try and take B main, take the orb, potentially set up for... They've got multiple options. They could go for a lockdown play here, they could go for an ult command. It's a flash play or a recon.
He's just doing it straight up, man! He fought for the recon, it was late, but he still gets 2 over the top. Foxy9! How's he managing that? No command, ripped him out. Spikes drop down into the middle of nowhere because EG player still anchoring towards the back. It's up to Jorgamodo to hold this off as well, but Stacks needs to reclaim some ground as a 3-2-1 swing. EG managing it. Shots landed. Ethan turning up.
EG find the timing again there to try and disrupt what was happening. Very nice play. Constant like little re-clear setups are working very well. They re-cleared mid when Foxy9 was pressuring there. Ended up winning that. I think that was round 5. Now they do a re-clear play into B main. But you're right, the timing was not set up with the recon or with the flash, as far as I can tell.
Everything's going right for EG.
But this is a very defense-sided map. DRX only need another, couple of rounds where somebody pulls out a miracle, be it Mako or anybody else. And suddenly they're not feeling that bad about how it's gone.
Cap pressure. Holding off. His hands, the shot going wide. Dash forwards, paranoia to set this one up. They want to punish. Foxy9 is chasing him. His adversary. Mind control still there. Smoke deep up top here. It's really putting the pressure onto the main player. Jorgamodo doesn't know which way to look, doesn't know which way to face. TPs this way, that way, backwards into Wine. A fight to be taken. No kill found, but now he's got help at least. Flash peeking in, running him down. Jorgamodo going to be cleared out of Wine. Massive player advantage, but maybe it can be equalized still. Trying to take up into tree. It's all over the place. Being taken, but slowed down now. It's a 2v4.
This looks like it's going to be DRX's 3rd round.
Bisa guys.
Thrifty win of the map.
Ini pulang belum sih?
It's these all-in pieces with the lighter weaponry that EG are struggling to hold on to. Yeah, and EG are going to be forced to save. So this is what I'm talking about, Brent. It can be a fantastic half for EG where they thoroughly, completely outplay DRX. And yet the small moments of Mako going crazy or them winning a thrifty and the overall result can change quite a lot.
Yeah, I can get him over the line.
Oke, dapetin 4 atau 5 sih, benang banget, Cok. Defender side kan.
To me, 4 is that line on Ascent.
Yeah, I would believe so. Although, if you follow the stats as well, if you're a bit of a nerd, and you do look in Pacific, it trends attack side for some reason.
In Pacific.
Yeah, for some reason, or for whatever reason that is. But globally, if you manage all of it, it ends up being a bit more defense favored. But still, I would agree with you. I think 4 rounds on attack should be enough. At least if you win the pistol round going into the second half.
Boostio is going to play off-site again and support Demon 1 because Stax has his null command available.
Santai, santai.
Fury though, right down, straight into the gut of the map. One shot lands, dodging, juking Stax, narrowly avoiding it.
But he did find Stax, so he knows that the null command is over towards A. That's important info.
Here's the paranoia, dash forwards, ripped it through. Com, he's blind, can't see anything, spam into it. Counter spam, Ethan, grabbing 2. Just from the backside of Jenny before eventually traded out, but it's again gonna be that retake. Demon 1 exchanges the operator. He's got a rifle in his hands. He wants to try and potentially make a go.
Let's go.
2v3. Smokes dropped. A fake of the dash. Which way is he going? He's buying time for Boostio. It's caused a distraction, and now they have made it into a 2 versus 2. Got to spot out the players though. Mako still alive. Round to the side of Jenny.
Nice, Mako lagi, Cok, yang outplay, Cok.
Another round on A, another 3 kills for Mako, though it was, to me, the entry play that worked much better that time. Foxy9 not getting caught in the choke point initially, able to dash into his smoke, follow up on the paranoia that Mako throws, and DRX finally get an A round that actually looks, like it went to their game plan rather than playing to EG's cues. And they've recovered this. They have recovered this. In terms of the scoreline, this is now looking respectable, and there's still 2 rounds to go. Now, we were talking about this earlier, of course, in the NRG Na'Vi game, where it was a 6-6 half, and then NRG ran away with it on the attack side. So maybe it's a very different beast here, but DRX have knocked EG down onto a light buy.
Could be a tournament where those expectations are turned on their head. Oh my. As a judge, nice timing. Tags him though. He was spotted.
Nice.
Really nice awareness. Even going for that re-swing. Straight into it. Inside the smoke, dodging, the util going over. Jogamo's still here though, inside the smoke, can't land a second. Attempt to reset with the Bulldog. Just spotting it, how is he grabbing the second? It's now into a 2 versus 2. They still don't have the weapons for it, but anything's possible with Demon 1, you never know. Door has to be broken. Post-plan positioning, how did DRX want to play this? Doubled up. One towards Jenny though, RB still holding for Tree. Slight gap in the play. Tree's first contact is Boostio. Spots it close, a wide swing and face. And Stax' head is ripped off, it's up to RB. He was a menace in map number 1. A tap onto it. Knows they're not sticking, but what a shot to land, man.
That's just a pre-fire. Expecting the peak timing. Oh, and that's a disaster for DRX. We've seen so many thrifties in this game. I think that's the 3rd round.
It's ludicrous.
Where the team with the low advantage, the low economy, has taken the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a hero play by Demon 1. This is what wins it for them.
Does he get a second, man? I mean...
Oh, wow. And Mako's been so good for DRX, but that one lost duel kind of opened the door for Boostio to do this.
One round left in the half. Lockdown's available, Hunter's Fury. Here's a Nana Swarm. Close to logs. It's actually intended, I think, for a turret that takes contact. So it would break a turret if the defensive setup had it there, but that's shifted. We know this, of course. Chucked out as well. Does not land onto the alarm bot. It's kept up for EG. But now they're going to be feeling the heat, aren't they? Paranoia, that does connect. Boostio in a bit of trouble. The pathing up towards Heaven. Spam onto the corner. The angle here. Foxy9, he wins the fight.
RB dapat, let's go.
RB wins the second. This is looking good for DRX. Wrapping around. Jogamo left to anchor, but he's being swarmed.
Nice banget picknya, 2 kiri kanan.
It's noted, and again, left down to Demon 1.
Oke, 75 yuk.
In the blink of an eye.
That is just the perfect round from DRX. The pathing is so specific to them as a team. DRX Leviathan love to run that strategy.
Use a lockdown. Foxy9 going for it, landing these shots.
Nice banget, Cok, di spray balik, Cok.
Backwards, forward, 7-5. Very good scoreline here for DRX.
Yeah, what an awesome way to finish the half with a flawless round like that, where they barrel over, predict where Boostio is going to be based on his turret placement, and this is the crucial kill. Foxy finding the opening after a really, really slow start, where Foxy was 0-5. He ends the half positive at 9-8. Only a fraction behind Demon 1.
Gotta sing his praises there. I mean, kid is absolutely stepping up. Let's send it down to the desk to break it all down.
Thank you very much, guys. Hyper, very slow start like Josh and Brent said, but what a recovery from DRX.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
harus menang sini, harus, Cok. Ya jelas lah harus.
Looking to slow things down, or I guess missing out on, I guess not finding the same value they did early on. And this is another map where we see examples of how good the reactive plays are. Yes,
you double digit yuk.
Reactive, and time again.
Moga guys, aman guys, bisa nih guys. Orang nih sakit banget, Cok.
So many of those plays have been built around Demon 1. At the start of the game, it really was defined by him. We've been waiting for the map where the Demon 1 that we saw come out and shock everyone in Americas came alive. And we got that here. And well, it was him and EG who defined the first part of this half. DRX in this game were able to adapt, particularly the way they were playing towards these A-side executes. First few rounds, they were just running into the meat grinder, letting Foxy9 die. But they pivoted, made the mid-round call,
DRX nih, Bang.
themselves a very strong half.
Yeah, I mean, 1 is better than 9. Who knew, Mike?
Tapi ini nggak tahu guys, kalau tiba-tiba EG attackernya gila, Cok.
As we move on to the second half, on Fracture, Mike, it was a disaster for DRX on the second half. But getting 5 rounds on the attack, it's good.
Yeah, definitely. I think Marco's the one that's ultimately able to pull DRX back into a
Takut gue, coy.
recoverable position, but recovery
map 3-nya apa sih guys, map 3-nya?
looked great for DRX so far. I guess here
Kalau
in
Pearl
Tokyo
oke lah.
as well. Talking about yesterday, the win conditions relied heavily on players popping off.
Heaven, nggak tahu deh gue, kayak kurang deh. Pearl ya, Pearl oke banget lah.
That's got to be a concern
DRX
in the
banget,
second
Cok.
half where you expect Demon 1 to pile the pressure back onto DRX.
Yeah, it can absolutely be concerning. But as the casters are talking about, DRX is actually weaker on their defensive side. This map trends way differently in Pacific, and EG's mid-rounding on the attacking side has improved so much. In playoffs,
DRX paling jelek tuh mainnya di ini guys, apa di apa yang 3 side itu selain Heaven. Pearl, dan Pearl sih. Dia tuh paling jelek main DRX tuh di kemarin dibantai sama Paperrex, Cok. Lotus. Kalau di Lotus sudah pasti kalah guys. Auto lose anjing.
Trailing. It's EG leading in the series overall, and all eyes on the top of the scoreboard for EG. Demon 1 versus Foxy9, a battle of these rookies as well. Hopefully see the continuation of that on the jet.
Yeah, especially with Foxy9 now heating up. I think this is the half where Foxy can get put onto angles. You see him playing alone in mid at the moment. While Demon
Lotus is more like auto lose.
Talking to Boostio, he said that
ya juga ya.
it's very easy
gila,
to call for a player like Demon 1, because Demon will just tell you where he wants to play on the map, and they use a little bit of utility to get him posted up, and then they can just leave him to go and find his picks.
Jump spot, it's wide. Mako, he's got a smoke out in his hands. The util is all mistimed here. Foxy9 seeking to put a stop to it as well. He dashes all the way in and it's cancelled. The call is made by EG. They don't want to rush into it.
Yeah, Demon 1 used his dash backwards to disengage, which I think is fine in this situation. So they go up 5v4, but they can't go back into a normal A exec. If they want to hit this, it's got to be an A split again, because they don't have that dash to break crossfires.
That's why Boostio's repositioned. It's already taken that cat control, but it is watched for RB. Reload, jiggle, off to the side. A chance for Boostio.
You've got to respect his sheriff.
Yeah. Rattles one of the shots. He's got 5 bullets left. There's a dart over the top. Looks like a push attempt into tree. Over the top, he's going to be lighting him up with a turret. Takes it. Dart over the top as well. Has to be dealt with. Bit of a pre-fire. Watchful eyes onto the smoke. There's 20 seconds left. Starting to run a bit short of the time. RB pushing through this way, that way, and around. It's all about the anchoring. It's all about how you dodge and duck and weave, but it's up to Buzz. Everybody falls onto the site. 1v3 with Ethan low. It's always a chance.
Buzz won an incredible clutch in map 2 yesterday. 1v3, I believe, to get them into a good position, but this one just looks even harder.
I mean, the one way. You can't see.
Gila, udah sekarang,
Peppered down.
Health advantage not there anymore. Dart. Broken. Time. You can hear it ticking. No mercy, really, is there? Neither is Buzz with this Ghost, but again, I feel like it's just running too short.
Yeah, no time.
Blink of an eye. Lovely attempt at things. Drops right down. He realized it. There was really no chance.
That's EG getting a pistol round that will be imperative for them.
Kalau pistol terus tuh ya, kenapa ya?
Where it's not necessarily getting the team back into the game, but EG, attack side is sent. We don't really know which way this is going to go. And a pistol round just reduces the amount that you need to get done. One of the big themes of how EG have been playing their attack side in Americas is inserting Demon 1 around the map. So they use utility to push him into an area, and then they almost leave him like a lurk entry player.
Yeah, it's really quite interesting.
It's interesting, and it also worked extremely well against Loud, who up until that point had only lost something like twice ever on Ascent.
Go around for DRX, attempting something a little bit
slow gini enak banget, Cok.
Did have the turret to take contact and a spam angle with the Sheriff, but
EG emang jijik, nggak gitu, Cok.
Slowed all the way down here. Exploring into mid, looking this way, that way, trying to find out, okay, are we running into a stack or not? Stacks, attempts to reposition there. Will be that easy plan for EG. I'll get this one down with no troubles. So you're looking at that 9-6. If everything goes correct for them, assuming Com doesn't get taken out, actually. It's in a dangerous position. Oh, okay.
He deals with it.
Yeah.
He's still got 2 players behind, though. So he probably will get wrapped here. The question really is, do they do it quickly enough? Is there any chance, even then, that they can win the 3v4? But I don't think Com's got much chance against this.
Okay. 3 versus 3. Time is ticking. Ethan, this way, that way. Dodge and juking, baiting for Boostio. Making sure that no crosshairs are placed onto him, and yet time is running short here with the Nanoswarms as well. Should be a safe win overall, but DRX can still do some significant damage here to the economy. Wider face. Very spam, Nanoswarm at his feet. 3 players surviving.
They're not going to be too worried about that. A chance to convert a bonus, and EG have been pulling out set plays on their bonus rounds. They haven't just been trying to run default stuff, so I'm going to be taking a look at the minimap here and seeing if they've got any kind of interesting looking ideas. For DRX though, the comeback has to start now. You need to get the momentum. You need to get
ini kalau kalah lu selesai si DRX sih.
To hold on. And one of the features of DRX here, one of the reasons maybe why they're not as good as some of the other top teams on this half, they don't support Foxy9 very much. He's just kind of left alone on an island to go and take his own fights in mid and battle the enemy utility.
Our task. A lot of this map really being how well can you set up your jet.
Delaware enggak, maksud gua tuh kalah nggak 3 map, Cok, kalau ini kalah.
Spam. It's his job. Seeking to contain. Just a battle and brawl over that B main control, and here's Demon 1 in that lower position. You were talking about it earlier, Josh. They're setting themselves up now for a bit of a B split. Going through, there's a flash just to offset it. Shock Dart close to the corner. Again, damage done. Nanoswarm deaded now, but Demon 1's already in here with a Guardian in hand. Dash also alive and active. Forwards into the site, close to the corner. He knew where Buzz was and he lands it. TP through. Blind as anything. Spammable. Swarms. Over the top was Foxy9. He was trying to help him out, but he's just delivered them a rifle.
And look at that, the way that Demon 1 turns from a lurk into an entry. It is so unique. I don't see any other teams doing this with this level of consistency or value. There's a lot of lurking jets out there. You find them in ranked every day of the week. But there is nobody that plays it quite like EG and Demon 1. DRX are just going to be forced to save here, and we said that this was a must-win for them to get something started. The bonus rounds have just been unbelievable by EG.
Yeah, always an idea thrown into the mix. Anything to offset the economic disadvantage that they might be facing here, because, man, I mean, you're looking at 10-5. Previous map was, what, 13-5?
Yep. Destructive. It could well be a 13-5. That's the level of momentum that EG have managed to generate.
Okay.
That's a different plan position, boys.
Whose fault is that?
Right. Well,
where do we plant, guys?
The vibes were good before, but now people are going to be pissed.
He's like, okay, who planted? What's going on there?
Did we catch it in the replay? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
Not even sure, man. That's
I think
so
it was
funny.
Ethan.
That is so funny.
It's not going to hurt.
Ngapain cow anjir, ini orang juga satu ngetro.
I mean, not for the moment. We'll see.
They take it in their stride. Turret, contact, buzz. Only the sheriff.
And we've talked a little bit about the vibes of this team, Brent. But how could the vibes not be immaculate when they didn't expect to be in America's playoffs? They got that out of a miracle upset that occurred. They were like, okay, right, well, that's just free for us, why not? And then they go through, they're playing in Tokyo. What? How have we managed that? That's phenomenal. They think they're not playing with Demon One. Oh, that's unfortunate. Never mind, though. We'll have a nice trip. What? Demon One can play? I mean, it's just incredible effort we ball kind of attitude with this team. Like everything that could have gone well has gone well for EG on this run. It's superb.
Twists and turns.
Ya, kalau ini nggak bakal bisa susah masuk playoff juga, Cok.
At times it feels like they're playing with house money, but they got preparation behind them.
Absolutely.
And a clear desire to make strides here at Tokyo.
Here we go, though. Foxy9 could actually be a bit of a wrench in the machine here.
Hit him, barreling up towards Cat there. They make a tremendous amount of noise. Spike dropped down. He's still got the rifle. Tap needs some help. There's the rest of his team as well to supplement. Aim's still held here by Mako. Adjustments necessary with the aim. Let's collect that second one.
Let's go, kena Thrifty yuk.
No way up though, now towards Heaven. There's 14 seconds left into this. What is going on, man? It's ludicrous. 7 seconds remaining. They can't even get themselves onto the site. It's all over the place. No chance to win the round now for EG. Time was really just bled out of them. And it was Foxy9 to be the difference maker.
Yeah, the two players with rifles, him and Mako. Foxy from mid, Mako from site.
We were telling a bedtime story. The tale of EG.
But that's another Thrifty that DRX get online. And they've had tons of those. Really found a lot of their success.
Harusnya Zes gitu loh. Zes pakai Sofa, RB pakai ini, guys.
I think this is their third in the map. And it's
sudah paling oke, Cok.
Listen, here's where 3 players dying to the spike from EG actually might end up being important. Because either this one or the next could well be an economic swing round.
Good play a part. Operators there for Foxy9. Flash repeat Mako. Disrespectful. That's how he's playing this A main control. Just trying to take the fight straight to them. There's a bit of a
lebih rapi Zes, coy. Kalau misalnya setup play-nya Zes tuh lebih gila, coy. Foxy9 lebih barbar sih emang kalau Jet daripada Bas.
Them playing more actively towards A main is a difference. Drone now towards mid. See if they can take out the alarm bot. It's dealt with. A minute left in the round. This reposition by Foxy9 could be everything. Vital. Operators here. Are they going to walk right into it? It's a paranoia, man. They've got layers. Levels to it. Offset this way, that way. Pivot. RB pushed into mid.
Nice RB gitu dong.
The spray transfer. It's beautiful. 2 targets found. The spike dropped into the middle of nowhere. Giacomo.
Wow, how's he done that?
Towards A, but RB still needs to contain. The shot done at his back. He's brought down. It's 2 versus 2. Giacomo's got the spike. He's on A.
He needs help though. Boostio's got to get here as quickly as possible.
Is that free plant smoke towards door? TP's back away. Foxy9 still creeping across into Heaven. Doubled up. Him and Buzz. Time has been bought. Boostio is there, but they don't actually know really where these players are. Finding the positioning now, though. How does this get played? Jumping down, trying to bait a swing or something. Fight is there. Boostio still alive.
Nice,
Foxy9. He responds and he lands it.
Gotta see the replay of how Giacomo even made that one possible, but it's RB that opens things up. RB did so much work in mid there to make things possible for DRX, and that's the second round in a row where DRX have found value by reactively pushing mid. That's what Foxy9 did on the eco round, and now you see the Sova, just a raw Sova in mid, making a push in order to catch the EG players off as they rotate around the map.
So whatever it takes.
Yeah, and it's working really nicely right now. DRX have identified an issue with how EG rotate around the map. Maybe the fact that they are less thoughtful of the reclears. Because it's not some kind of big elaborate utility reclear. It's just one quiet contacting player up mid. There's a lot of risk to doing that, but it's working out very well for DRX.
Let's force this timeout. EG taking a bit of a backseat here. Potter going to be dishing out some advice, adjustments that need to be made. But you are right, it's these little reclears that are happening. Maybe they've just got the read as well. When the mid default gets used, smoke drop down, alarm bot's broken. There's not really too much bite behind it. I mean, sometimes they're leaving Demon 1 pushed up in that position.
Right, but even in those instances, it's only Demon 1 there. Against the way that EG like to play, where they push and insert Demon 1 into spots, doing big reclears with utility is actually a very good counterplay from the defense. Because not only do you gain that map control back, there's also a serious chance that you catch Demon 1 in those positions and end up getting map control and a pick out of it. So I love that idea conceptually as a way that DRX could approach Ascent defense. They haven't really been going for that though. They haven't been going for these big utility reclears. It's just been, you know, Foxy9 walking up mid, seeing if he can find what's going on. And it's all based off the information that other DRX players are feeding those mid players.
The Knight's waited out and the no command's there. Speed it up, why not? Foxy9, what a shot to hit still. On any of the targets on is Ethan, so he can be brought back up. A warbang attempt.
Good try.
On his body, a lovely attempt. Doesn't quite land it though, and now you're still feeling it all the way through. No one's watching lane. Paranoia is there. Hunter's Fury. It's all coupled together. A dodge, a dash to disengage and avoid all of this coming your way, but EG are so fast with it, man. They've taken this space, but the spike has dropped down into the open.
Yeah,
that's to reclaim this.
Player advantage and good post plant positions, but the problem is you're not in a post plant.
Mako, he's holding. That's the Paranoia off the face of the contact. The fights are being won out.
Wow.
2v3. Spike has been picked up, and guess what, Com? He's running out of days. He's like, I want nothing to do with this. Do your best, Ethan. I'm leaving you, mate.
Com in a 1v3. We've seen this guy close out before.
Side, yeah.
6 and 11 right now. He has had some incredibly hot moments.
That's cheeky. Okay. Don't know what. Yeah. I mean, what's he going for there? But
I mean, that kind of recon dart would only be used if you were playing towards main, for example, right? So he's trying to bait them based on the positioning.
How hard is this clearance? Very hard. RB.
Nice idea.
Yeah. Not sure if you heard a footstep or what, but incredible awareness.
Yeah, very good awareness. And the whole point of that recon dart is to make you think that he couldn't be in heaven.
Yeah.
That the recon was for information instead. So, we were talking a lot about how good EG's set plays were and how much they were tactically outplaying DRX on the first map. DRX managing to take that one off Mako's Paranoia and contact. I mean, first of all, the spike being down was the major problem, right? Because otherwise they're in a nice spot. But it's this play, look. They take contact off Buzz, and that forces a Paranoia out, and then Buzz and RB are able to collect kills. It's a really nice setup that they've just strung together on the fly to be able to get this back within 2. And this is where attack side Ascent becomes really sticky. It feels like you're so close to the finish line. We only need 3 more, but if EG are saying that to themselves, maybe underestimating how difficult it can be.
Yeah, they can be some of the hardest rounds to really get over the finish line. Flash pop out is at a half buy from EG. Fully grouped up, at least with the 4 of them. Using it as a chance to farm up some ults.
And you see Boostio here, lurking in mid. That may have been an adjustment coming out of Potter's timeout.
Get out of my way.
You know, that does seem like a good idea against what DRX were doing, going for those reactive pushes from Foxy9 and RB.
Knife over the top, that's going to be a drone tagging. The Boostio doesn't see too much else though. Grouped up still. It's going to be heat being turned up, I think, for DRX. Foxy9 narrowly avoiding it. Flash over. Smoke drop down as well. Another tag. Really just lit up entirely. Foxy9 can't take a clean fight. They're into the back of the site, towards it, this way, that way. Running and gunning. Ethan, he's removed them. He's found a second, not two. Still all the way through. Foxy9, and Jussie gets 3. A knife as well, pushing them all the way back. Into the site they go. Lockdown, ready and waiting. There are tools. DRX could offset this. They have the Hunter's Fury. They want to choose to use it. They want to try and play for it.
And Boostio's going to push.
Yep, pushing off of this. Buzz was watching. So the lockdown, it's removed.
Now Buzz with a lockdown of his own, and Com has repositioned to try and anticipate that.
He's watching it. Lockdown's there. Buzz, he's low. Brought down.
I like this. Com isn't rushing it. He knows that there's going to be a second player here. This is just a game of chicken.
RB waiting it. Lands it. Force it into a 1 versus 1. Necessary for DRX. Time is short. You can hear the spike ticking away. A tap onto it. Sticking it through now. Jiggling with the fire. The shot! Silence for RB! That is
RB bos! RB senggol dong!
What an incredible play towards the end there from RB. Ethan going for the pre-aims, just missing the head on his little jiggle peaks. But he made it very predictable what he was going for, and RB knew there was no wide swing coming. Ethan had done so much. I mean, those 3 kills just come out of nowhere. It felt like he was destined to close the round in the same way that he'd opened it up. You can see he's heartbroken about it, because that drags the map with 1 round separating these 2.
so much credit.
Let's go bro.
RB there in that
Bisa nih guys,
scenario.
comeback Israel.
A lot of pro players, even if they are pro players, they get flustered in spots like that. The jiggling, they lose their nerve, they get off the spike, they don't start sticking to the fuse, but RB knows the only win condition, the only way he can play to his out is by sticking it to halfway and landing the shot, and he does it like that.
RB has been phenomenal in the clutch this year, and yeah, it's so impressive from a player that previously was receiving a ton of criticism, and I think fair criticism, for having choking performances at big LAN events. When they would get deep in the playoffs, he wasn't really turning up. And since he swapped his role over to be the flex for DRX, he's just found way more opportunities to play in the late round, to play supportively, and he's been a nightmare for other teams to deal with. We'll take a look at this moment just again and see the way that Ethan was playing it. I mean, he's just catching tiny glimpses, tiny glimpses.
It's just amazing.
The way that both players are playing it is
Paperrex mana bang udah kulkam Paperrex nunggu di playoff bro, santai bro, senggol dong.
Good from RB to hit the shot at the end there on
One round, man. 1 round sort of stands between DRX being able to equalize, get to 10 to 10. Thinking about where they begun as well. Losing the pistol rounds. They've had to claw back.
They're waiting for a reaction here. They're so confident that DRX are going to go for some flash push.
It's because Mako's been fighting it.
Yeah.
But put that fear and conditioning into them.
They just allow them to get it. So Jorgamo was tapping it first to try and bait out a reaction, and then Ethan actually takes the ult orb to be able to get his null command online. Here's that little piece of reaction from Foxy9. He knows that there was a few in A main, so he's going to walk forwards in mid.
Sees the flash. Plays anti. Dart at his feet. This is dangerous. Has
Jadi
to
pas
use it.
Paperrex sama Smarty nggak ya jelas lah.
So, good awareness from EG to deal with the problem that's been hurting them in a couple of rounds so far. But that's only half the puzzle. You've gained some map control, sure, but where are you going to end? How are you going to get there?
There's 40 seconds left. Time might be a problem. Look at how scattered the EG players are. I mean, they are spread out equally across the map right now. It's like they're playing a slow default, but no command's ripped off. This is straight down mid.
It's a big fake.
Sentinel nggak masuk cuy.
Yeah, they're trying to fake it like it's an A split, but now straight through to the middle of the map to B split. Now the Odin spam! Making short work still. TP into the back, shoring up the defenses. Trying to anchor it up. Players drop down onto lane here. Dart at the back, spammable potentially. Over the top is Foxy9 into the smoke. He expects it. 10 seconds remaining. This way, that way. Shorty's not enough. 7 seconds. There is time. Mako denied. He can't stop the defuse. And all the players watching. The position's there.
Aduh!
It's a 1v2. Stacks is running as fast as he could to try and help out. It's left up to him, the IGL. It's had a hard task of it, beginning of this tournament. A bit of spam, common warbangs. He's got to force these fights out. Players are low, but Demon 1 never lacks the confidence. So eager to take the fight there.
And they still had that second layer of comm hiding behind, ready to trade him if it failed. So another very good setup. That round, though, was on a razor-thin edge. The timing being the biggest issue. And you can completely see why Mako would try and sacrifice his own life to stop the plan. If he manages to get a wide swing off there, he's won the round.
Oh, he wins the round, yeah, easily.
But EG are just able to get that one by a thread, by the tiniest margin. And it forces another timeout. I feel like the coaches have had so much impact in these games.
Yang ini yang gua kebilang teman-teman lagi wangi. Iya, dia lagi cosplay Derke dia ya. Ribet anjing mainnya, Cok. Cutting versi yang lebih ngeri lagi kayaknya dah. M-nya lebih tenang soalnya dia kan main sensor rendah, Cok. Kalau sensor tuh kelihatannya lebih tenang guys, kalau di sense tinggi. Nggak getar soalnya.
I mean, you get tested here. It's nothing quite like it on the international stage. You're playing in front of all these people. Pushed to your limits.
And that's what makes it even more impressive to me that EG are turning up. We've seen so many teams that do very well domestically, regionally, and then they turn up to the global events and they're not ready. Or, even though they felt like they were ready, it just got to them. The moment, the pressure, overwhelming. And yet EG, for all of the inexperience on this roster, they're still here, they're still performing. And something we haven't seen from them, tactically, is Demon 1 attack opping very much. And as you can see, he's going to pick it up in this round. 19 kills, attack side op. Not necessarily going toe-to-toe with Foxy9, but looking, I would imagine, more to get posted up in an area and see if he can generate a pick with it.
Change in the setup. Oh, Foxy9, this is so brave, man. Dash isn't even active. It's being watchful. Demon 1! How has he got the read? How is he expecting it?
That's ludicrous. I mean, we know that DRX have been going for mid-pushes occasionally, but to predict it exactly coming out of the timeout?
Yeah, I mean...
What is that read?
That's just different. Yeah. Someone's been doing their homework, that's for sure.
EG known VOD watchers. And thinkers.
Oh, man.
So yeah, there's the pick that they're looking for. And often Demon 1 will swap weapons with Boostio in order to entry for them too. So that off doesn't necessarily slow him down on the attack.
Breaking some util. Smoke drop down at a choke point just to fake like he could be walking through. Or at least crossing onto the other side.
Remember that the time was an issue for EG in the previous round. It almost lost them it. And there you go, there's that weapon swap I was talking about. Demon 1 picks up the Vandal, Boostio up in. 30 seconds, not even.
It's running short. Buzz has to be the difference, doesn't he? Recon dart to the side, that's dealt with. Over the top, he's being supported, has to deal with it, and he does break it. Smoke to dash through into it. Can Buzz get anything done here? Has to anchor it as the player. Adjust with the aim, only the one. Inside the nade, RB holds his ground, waits it out through the smoke, deals with Demon 1. Off to the side, he just can't survive. Enough time. Plan's going to be stuck now into the post. 3 players, though, grouped up towards the back of the side for EG. It's not the greatest post plant in the world, but they do have that player advantage. Mako and Stacks against the world. Nate, it's close to the corner. Flash and Paranoia is used together. Blinded back and forth, this way, that way, behind Dice as well, not watching. Dart is there, and Boostio watches. The sightline's set. It's EG who find themselves on series point.
And playoffs point. 1 round and EG have instantly accomplished their goal of being able to make playoffs. What a read that was. And EG, even with time pressure, able to bait out a wave of defensive utility before they committed. Very impressive stuff. 1 round away from making top 8 in this tournament. Going through the groups in 2-0 fashion. Proving all of the EG doubters wrong.
Senjatanya nggak mumpuni lagi, bro.
It comes down to this. You keep yourselves into it if you're DRX. This is heavy aggression into A main. Very passive position by Jogamo that he's holding. Are they going to try and flash repeak into main here? Yeah, it looks like there was an attempt.
Yeah, Jogamo's taking contact, though. He knows that this is happening. It might accelerate the B push. It should give them options to try and B split. But they're waiting for Com to clear it with the drone.
So mid's there, Shock Dart will be landing, I think, into mid.
You think about this too, though. EG don't actually want to react quickly into areas because they're still trying to attack up with Demon 1.
It does slow them down. Minute. This could be the finisher. The weaponry's not good.
Here.
We've actually
having to scrape at the bottom of the barrel for this buy.
Yeah, but the bad weaponry hasn't stopped them before. We've seen 3, 4 thrifties in this map so far. Or at least low eco wins.
Can they turn it around yet again?
Kayak bakal di itu deh A-nya.
Indecisive, 40 seconds.
Yeah, and this
Kalau
time
kalau ke A sih
don't
kayaknya,
have a pick.
kalau ke A feeling gua sih susah sih.
TP into the back, dart over the top, Hunter's Fury. It really does feel like it's going to be a PE hit. Jorgenbo, man!
But he's drawn 3 players there!
He has, and that was the goal because the spike is making its way over here. Mako, he has to deny. Finds the first. Main compromise, this way, that way, dashing forwards. TPs abound.
What is going on?
It's all over the place, man. Anarchy. A wide swing from Mako, a wide face. So dangerous, dropping down, smoke at his feet. Demon 1 with the knives. All the way through, he lands the first. Into the way, finds the second. Will it be the finisher? Flash through, Abby will not be able to do it.
Orang sakit banget, anjing.
Are going to playoffs.
Off the back of an insane Demon 1 finisher. We were waiting for this guy to turn up. Yesterday, not really required. Map 1 playing Brimstone, but the Jet head-to-head hyped up, savored, and delivered. 23 kills to end that, and what a finish. He pops knives in a 1v3 on the site with Ethan unable to help him and takes his team through to playoffs. What a performance, individually and as a team. And what a Cinderella run this has been. But it doesn't feel like it's form that's taking them here. It doesn't feel like some of the prior runs that we've seen in Valorant where it's all based on hitting their shots and finding those timings. The deep prep work and structure is taking EG through to the point where
basically nggak usah pakai strat, Cok. Demon 1 aja main sama si Bustier tuh, si Bustier ya.
They are shining. They make that top 8.
Ya paling tinggi, Cok,
All the
oddsnya
way
anjir.
through the upper bracket. And it's DRX. Not down to the lower, they're not out of the event just yet, but this is a rarity. It's worth repeating.
Bustio sama Demon 1 main berdua itu anjir. Ngeri-ngeri M-nya.
But for EG, today is celebrations.
It absolutely is. Again, how could the vibes not be utterly immaculate on this team? They're 2-0ing DRX, a team that we normally talk about as title contenders. They didn't expect Demon 1 to be here, and he's just taking them through that final round with his attack open and his Blade Storm play. They're rocking the bold looks.
Yeah, man, I mean, they're feeling it.
I mean, it's all just working
orang
for
gila,
them.
Cok. Sebenarnya menurut gue ini orang sakit loh, Cok. Mainnya tuh konsisten banget, guys.
And we were talking about vibes before, and that can feel vague to people at home, but I do want to point out, if everyone is enjoying themselves and having fun and feeling like they're on a run like this, giving harsh criticism,
thank you guys teman-teman yang nonton, guys. Gue pengen nge-gym dulu. Mungkin nanti malam kita main ini, guys, Guardian Thales ya, guys ya. Agak aja lagi, guys. Oke, teman-teman, thank you teman-teman semua yang nonton. Makasih udah like, subscribe, jangan lupa follow Instagram, bos kecil lebih. Alright guys, terima kasih guys ya. DRX masih ada lower bracket, kita akan cek guys ya lower bracketnya DRX, bro.
They're paving their way. They have forged a path through the Americas playoffs.
Lower bracketnya DRX, it's mean DRX akan melawan. Oke. T1 tuh menang ya. T1 melawan energi. Masih T1 melawan energi. Oke, DRX akan melawan antara Taking Soul. Kayaknya sih Taking masuk. Ketemu lagi guys, dia akan ketemu lagi sama Taking Soul. DRX masuk ya guys ya. Lower ya. Menurut gue sih DRX masuk lower guys, aman. Ini T1 kayaknya sulit. T1 kayaknya bakal sulit guys. T1 kayaknya bakal susah banget nih guys. T1 nggak bisa masuk sih. Kalau ini bisa menang T1, GG. Oke, kalau T1 bisa menang berarti T1 tiba-tiba mengeluarkan ekspektasi kita guys ya. Alright. Thank you teman-teman udah nonton, makasih guys. Sampai jumpa di next live streaming ya. Nobar lagi, kita tunggu sampai schedule yang seru lagi guys ya. Alright guys, see you. Kita pindahkan dulu di siapa jauh. Siapa? Bisa Onik berarti main guys ya. MSI Onik gak bisa main guys ya. Malam-malam aku sendiri. Thank you guys, sampai jumpa. See you and bye.